Hello and welcome to CKE 10,001's gaming channel. In this video, we'll be looking at my Weiss Schwarz No Game No Life Sora Shiro deck profile. This deck build runs 15 level 0s, 14 level 1s, 3 level 2s, 10 level 3s, and 8 climax cards. So the purpose of this deck is to try to put cards to the bottom of your stock and use it for your level 3 finisher combo. So the first card I'm going to take a look at are the level 0s, the Brainstormer, Humanity's Representative Shiro. It has two effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can look at the top card of your deck and put it on top or bottom of your deck. And the second effect is the Activate Brainstorm. Pay 1, rest this card, flip over 4 cards and put them into your waiting room. For each climax revealed, you can search your deck for up to 1 game character, reveal it to your opponent, and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So it's like it's a good Brainstormer because of its first effect. It can go 5 cards deep. And then the next card I'm running is 4 copies of the Runner, Prodigy of Ingenuity, Shiro. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put them on top of your deck in any order. The second effect is auto. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this card to any open position on your center stage. And then the next card I'm running 3 copies of. It is Detected Deceit Sora. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a game character or an event card, put it in your hand, choose 1 card in your hand, and put it into your waiting room. The second effect is mandatory. When this card is placed on stage from hand, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the waiting room. If there's a climax amongst those cards, this card gets +2 soul until the end of turn. So it has nice filter effect for the first ability, and the second ability provides some soul pressure. And the main event card you want to get in your hand is the Intrinsic Genius blue event card, or the Accelerated Alacrity event card. So those are the 2 main events that you get using the Detected Deceit Sora. Then I'm running 2 copies of Blank, Sora, and Shiro. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, put the top card of your deck into your clock. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 cost 0 or lower character with level equal to or lower than your level, and with Sora or Shiro in its card name, and put it on any position of your stage and shuffle your deck. The second effect is when this card attacks, you can choose 1 of your characters, and that character has +500 power until the end of turn. So it's a very restricted Ricky, but still helps you get your level 1 that you need onto the board, whether it's the level 1 climax combo Sora or the promo beater Sora. And though there is a restriction when you call the Sora onto the board, it won't get its power because its effect triggers when it gets placed from hand. So that's kind of one downside using that type of Ricky for this level 1. And then the next level 0 I'm running is the Trial Deck level 0. The card name is 1/2 of Blank Shiro. Continuous. If your stock has 2 or less cards, this card gets +1500 power. So it's essentially a 004K oversizer level 0. Then at level 1, we're running 2 copies of the event card, Accelerated Alacrity. Choose 1 of your standing game characters, rest it. If you do, you can search your deck for up to 2 game characters, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And then I'm running 2 copies of the 10 Pledges Tet. It has 1 effect. When this card is placed on stage from your hand, you can pay 1, discard put 1 card from your hand into your clock. If you do, you can choose 1 character of Sora and 1 character with Shiro and its card name from your waiting room and return them to your hand. So there's a lot of ways to get specific characters into your hand with this the event and the level 1 cards. And then I'm running 4 copies of Intrinsic Genius event card. If you do not have a character with Shiro in its card name, this card cannot be played from your hand. The effect is look at up to 6 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it on the top or bottom of your stock, and then put the rest into your waiting room. And then I'm running 2 copies of the Sora promo. Visitor from Another World Sora. When this card attacks, if you have 2 or more other game characters, this card gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So it's just a beater, level 1 card. Then, or the level 1 climax combo card is Blank's Victory Condition Sora. Has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from your hand, this card gets plus 1,500 power until end of turn. Second effect is when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed. If super healthy space is in your climax area, search your deck for up to 1 game character revealed to your opponent, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. And the climax is on a shot trigger. Then I'm running 2 copies of Declaration of War Sora. When this card attacks, if the character facing this card is level 3 or higher, this card gets plus 6,000 power. So it's just an early play beater. Then I'm running 1 copy of Adolescent War God Shiro. It has 2 effects. The first is continuous assist. All your level 3 or higher characters in front of this card gets plus 2,000 power. The second is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1 stock, discard a climax. If you do, grab climax from your waiting room, so it's a climax swapper. And then I'm running 2 copies of Rebirth World Sora. It has 2 effects. The first is when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can look up to X cards from top of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, put it in your hand. X equals the number of game characters you have. Second effect is when this card's attacks, you can pay 1, discard a card. If you do, this card gets plus 2,000 power and the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle opponent becomes reverse, you can deal 1 damage to your opponent. So, just a, card to help get the climax cards in your hand if you need it, and can do precision point damage. Then I'm running 4 copies of the Restanding 2 Become 1 Shiro. I don't really use the climax combo effect. I only use it for a second effect, which is this ability activates once per turn. During the turn that this card is placed on stage from your hand, if the battle opponent of this card becomes reversed, you can pay the cost, pay 1 stock, discard 2 game characters, and restand this card. And then the last level 3 I'm running is Humanity's Representative Sora. It has 2 effects. The first is when the card is placed on stage from your hand, you can discard a card. If you do, put the top card of your clock in your stock. The second effect is a climax combo. When this card attacks, if overthrowing a god is in your climax area, you may put the bottom card of your stock into your waiting room. If that card is a level 3 or higher card, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And the climax card for this level 3 is on a bounce trigger. That event helps stack the level 3 at the bottom of your stock for the finisher combo. And now the last cards are the climax cards. I'm running 4 copies of Overthrowing a God for the level 3 combo, and 4 copies of Super Healthy Space climax card for the level 1 combo. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Check EncoreDecks.com and the link in the description below for an overview.